Okay, so this time I'm going to go through a kind of weird concoction of everyday stuff and stuff that we bring back from our travels. So it's quite a weird mix. It's more kind of exotic or foreign food than like local food. But anyway, we'll go through it. So we have olives. So these are from Sainsbury's because we had a load of nectar points that we wanted to use up. So we got those, and there was also some artichokes still kicking around in the cupboard. There they are. So artichokes and olives. We normally just put them in pasta, to be honest. So while they're not like super exotic, they could kind of classed as normal. Pumpkin seed butter, which was cheap from Holland and Barrett. Tahini. Now, while tahini is kind of like a, quote, foreign food, it is quite everyday for us as well. What else have we got? Oh, the, what was it? Beetroot and cumin grain dressing that we got from our M&S haul. So that is still to be used. We've got, white asparagus. Now, I'm a huge white asparagus fan. We tend to get it quite a lot when we're in Europe, specifically Germany, because they're quite big on it, and I love it. I try to eat as much as physically possible. We've got Jamaican callaloo and Jamaican ackee, which we brought back from London because we haven't been to Jamaica recently. This is gravy granules, which I don't use very often at all. So they've been sitting in the cupboard for years, but they're fine. Vegemite, because I prefer it to Marmite. I find it less kind of acidic. I'm just more of a fan of it. Nata de coco, which is fun to say and fun to eat. I bought this to make myself bubble tea when it was really hot, and I never got around to it. But I will at some point. This miscellaneous jar of brown stuff, which I'm kind of trying to shake so you can see it, is something we brought back from Amsterdam. It is, there you go, chocolate sprinkles. Basically, you put them on toast. So you do toast or bread with a thick layer of butter, and then you put them on top, and they are delicious. Next, so see, these are the kind of like bog standard, boring, normal stuff that we have. Paxo. So we have Paxo and we have another packet of stuffing, and we tend to use that instead of like meat or like a meat replacement in a roast dinner. Now these have been sitting in the cupboard since last Christmas, so you can see how often this actually happens. We've also got chestnuts because I love chestnuts. Now it's getting colder, I will have to crack out my mushroom bourguignon recipe so that we can use them. Now we are going to move on to the more exciting stuff. Now, I've tried to kind of categorize this a bit, but there's so much of a like weird selection that it doesn't quite work. So this is the kind of Japanese section. We've got nori, which you've just seen there. So that's like your regular toasted seaweed. This is kombu, which I have a lovely story about this. So if you want to hear the story, let me know and I'll put it in a Q&A. But that is kombu, which you use for stock. Then we have got wakame, which is the seaweed that you normally see in miso soup. So I have a lot of seaweed because I quite like seaweed. Then we've got hijiki, I want to say. My pronunciation probably is awful. This is the stuff that you find in seaweed salads at sushi restaurants. What else have we got? Oh, this stuff is like seaweed flakes, like really fine ones. They are called, what are we? Aonori. Again, my pronunciation's awful. You put it on top of things like okonomiyaki. It's like your seaweed flakes. This we actually brought back from Japan. This is a seasoned kelp. It's like a diet food, and it's like really fine, almost like cotton candy consistency, and you put it in soup. Oh, it's lovely. So there you go, seasoned vinegar kombu kelp. That's most of the seaweed. This is kind of falls into that category. This is like sprinkles for rice. So you cook fresh rice, you sprinkle this on top, and then you pour water or tea on top of that, and that is your meal. So those, I absolutely love those. They're quite a nice, just quick meal. These we picked up in London. They are baked gluten. So it's a bit like seitan, but it's baked instead. I saw it on a TV show. I wanted to try it. I bought some. I haven't actually used it yet, but I'll get around to it. This is curry roux, which I'm sure this has popped up in another video as well. We really like Japanese curry, so we always tend to have a pack of that in the cupboard. Now, to divert quickly to Thailand, this is something we brought back. We picked these up in Chiang Mai. It is tamarind coated in sugar and a little bit of chili. And they're like sweets, but also they're quite nice to just throw in sauces because they will melt. Briefly back to Japanese-ish, we've got shiitake and porcini mushroom powder, and we've got dried shiitakes. So they go into stocks and things like that. So they're mainly kind of stock ingredients. Next up, we have the rest of Asia. So these are vegetarian seaweed meat flake things. I saw them in the Asian supermarket and really wanted to try them, and they've sat in the cupboard ever since. So I will get around to it again at some point. Reading the back, they are from Taiwan. Next up, we've got Korea. We've got some soybean paste. Spicy soybean paste, which is from Korea. I've also got gochujang and the almost like the miso version of Korean bean paste in the fridge. These have popped up in a video as well. So these are like soy marinated strip type things. I tried reading the back of the packet and I still have no idea where they're from. So general Asia for that one, unfortunately. Next, I think these ones are more Chinese. So we have got some black fungus, which sounds delicious, and it is. It's like it's mushrooms. So when you soak them, they come out like almost like thick seaweed texture. They've got a wonderful texture to them and they're great flavour. So I've been using those in momo recently and also just in stir fries. These are soybean or soy curd knots. They've been sitting in the cupboard a long time and I didn't know what to do with them. They just look good. But I had them at one of my favourite restaurants the other day, so now I know what to do with them. And some agar-agar, because agar-agar. Now we're on to random things that are in the cupboard. We've got chalk pens, we've got some string. This goes back to before we were vegan, but it is still very useful for tying things up, and it's a waste to get rid of it. Toothpicks, again, we have had these for years, but we'll get through them slowly but surely. This is date syrup. So this will be from when I was on my last Middle Eastern kick, because that does denote what is in the cupboard. It depends what I'm fancying at the time. Jerk seasoning that we brought back from London, which has been wonderful. I've been mixing it with coconut and putting it on cauliflower steaks. And last but not least, HP sauce, which I put in some yakisoba the other day, and it was wonderful. So we've got a weird mix of regular stuff and foreign stuff, and yeah, there you go. So don't forget to subscribe. There will be more of these, and I will see you again soon.